sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the NFL Coverage. Before we get started, this podcast brought to you by Final Form Supplements. I have my creatine here. Obviously, we are live from Forest City, Arkansas. We're traveling for Thanksgiving, so I got my creatine. I bring all my supplements with me because you got to take it consistently. Check out finalformsubs.com. That's SUPPS, finalformsubs.com. Use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order. Final Form Subs, achieve your final form. Actually, I'm gonna put that right there. It's probably out of frame. All right. So I have my brother here with me, Mr. Trey Stribling. Trey, you can introduce yourself.
What's good?
You have to speak up.
What's good?
Alrighty. And so we're just gonna go over. I'm a little late. It's Thanksgiving break, so this probably won't get posted till later. But I'm just gonna go over what transpired week 11, and then the Thanksgiving games to happen today. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there. If you don't celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thursday. We're gonna go over the games that just happened because we just watched the Packers-Detroit game and the Commanders-Cowboys game. But I'm just gonna go over week 11 really, really quick. So Bengals-Ravens. Ravens took that 20 to 34. Ravens won. Titans lost to the Jaguars 34-14. Packers beat the Chargers 23-20. Commanders lost to the Giants 31-19. Miami beat the Raiders barely 20-13. Excuse me. And Cardinals lost to Houston 21-16 against C.J. Stroud playing phenomenal. We'll get into that stuff later. Bears, Lions win 31-26. Steelers lose to the Browns 13-10. Cowboys beat the Panthers 33-10. Buccaneers lose to San Francisco 27-14. Rams beat the Seahawks by 1 point, 16-17. Jets lose to the Bills 32-6. Broncos beat the Vikings 21-20. Eagles beat the Chiefs 21-17. Are there any important notes you want to talk about for week 11? Obviously last week. Anything that you've noticed, highlights or lowlights and things like that?
I think Lamar Jackson is going to win MVP. It's a very strong statement. So, yeah.
He is a Lamar Jackson fan, for those of you that don't know. But I do believe that's not a wild statement. Lamar Jackson definitely showed that he is a top-tier, high-caliber quarterback, and he can get it done. Again, I've been saying this all season. The Ravens are now finally getting some recognition. But early on, a few weeks ago, you guys remember I talked about how I think the Ravens, they're good. They've been quiet. They're not getting recognition. But they've been very quietly, winning really good football games. I think now they're starting to get the recognition as they move to, I believe, what are they, 8-2 or 8-3? All right. Now, week 12, we're on week 12. Again, this episode, the timing is off because of the holidays, but we just watched the Cowboys-Commanders Detroit Packers game. And right now, San Francisco 49ers are playing the Seahawks. Before we get into those three games, the rest of the weekend, I'm going to go over who's playing who. So we have the Jets, Dolphins. We have Jacksonville, Houston. Houston is actually a crucial one because that's the division game. And I think if Houston can beat that one, Houston has a good chance to shake it up and potentially make a playoff run. Then you have the Steelers, Bengals, Tennessee, Panthers, the Saints, Falcons, Bucks, Colts, New England, New York, Browns, Broncos, Rams, Cardinals, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Raiders, Ravens, Chargers, and then Monday night we have Bears, Vikings. Again, there are no teams on bye week this week. My game of the week for this week is probably going to be Jacksonville, Houston, simply because those are two teams fighting for that number one spot. Right now, I believe the Jaguars are the number one spot for that, and Houston's obviously trying to turn the tide and get going there in that division. Outside of that, there's not really any games I'm interested in. Broncos, again, like I've said, they've started to win games, so I might be interested to see how the Broncos play against the Browns, being the Browns have the number one defense. What can Russell Wilson do against that team? And that's pretty much it. I'm not really interested in Chiefs, Bills, maybe Jets, Dolphins, just because I'm curious how the Jets perform defensively against the Dolphins, because even though the Jets' record might not show, they have a top 10 defense. I believe their overall defense ranked 7th. So the Jets have a solid defense. Can they keep the team together? Can they keep a good enough record, or can they be good enough and kind of hold on to potential. So when Rodgers get back, they can go on a little run. And if he plays, he said he wants to be back mid-December. Will he play when he's back mid-December or off of injury reserve? Who knows? But if he does, I feel like the plan is to, if you're even mentioning it, otherwise you would be like, no, we're shutting down, wait till next year. But if you're not, the only reason why these rumors exist is because there's potential that they're going to let him play when he comes back, potentially try to make a run for the playoffs. So can the Jets hold on just enough so when Aaron Rodgers comes back, they only got to win a few games to make wild card kind of thing, obviously. But what are your takeaways from the games we saw today? Let's start with the Green Bay game and Green Bay and Detroit. Green Bay and Detroit. Tell me what you liked from Green Bay, and then tell me what you liked from Detroit on both sides of the ball.
For Green Bay, Jordan Love played good today, and I feel like their defense kind of carried them the entire game. And then for the Lions, I feel like Jared Goff was inconsistent the whole game. They didn't really run the ball as much as they probably should have.
Mm-hmm.
And on defense, I just said they couldn't really stop the run.
Yeah, because AJ Dillon had him, I think, a pretty good game. Green Bay just came out the gates. They came out the gates looking good. Obviously, Green Bay ended up getting the win at the end of the day. So, but Detroit, they played a way better second half, so they went in and made adjustments at halftime. But just Green Bay started the game off too strong, and Detroit just couldn't make up for it coming out for the next game. It was the Washington Commanders and Dallas, right, which was just an absolute wash. Tell me what you like. Let's just start with Dallas. Tell me what you like from Dallas offensively and defensively.
Offensively, they were just running the ball at will. I felt like they could have ran the ball the whole game, being successful regardless. And on defense, they was doing everything, getting picks, pick sixes, sacks, all that.
Yeah. What's his name? Blount, right?
Yeah.
Blount got his 5th pick 6 of the season, which is NFL record. The previous record was 4. I forget who had 4 and 1. There's 2 people he was tied with for 4 in one season, but he got that. So I mean, that secondary, we had talked before how I think the their weak point has normally been their secondary. Not saying the secondary isn't good, but between the front line, the linebackers, and the secondary, it's usually their secondary where they, are usually their weakest link. And I feel like their secondary is really starting to solidify. And I think that the Dallas defense will be better next year than where they are this year if the management does it right. They keep their core guys on defense, and then once they get Diggs back for a full off season and can have him for a full season, I mean, you're talking unstoppable. The Commanders, which I had talked to you during the game, it's crazy how the Commanders, they lost by a lot, but how their quarterback, he still puts up pretty good stats even though they lose. What do you think the Commanders need to do to improve? Well, what do you think the adjustments need to be made offensively, and what adjustments need to be made defensively?
I feel like there wasn't really adjustments because they were playing the Cowboys. They got the best front 7 in the NFL. So I feel like they should have established the run game. I feel like that's kind of hard against Michael Parsons and
Yeah. And then what do you think they could have done defensively? Not necessarily just for this game, but moving forward, what do you think they need to address defensively?
Probably stopping the run.
Stopping the run. I wish we don't have service here, so I'm not able to look up their rankings and stuff, but I'm pretty sure their defense is not very good at stopping the run. So there's definitely some adjustments they're going to have to make moving forward. And then this last game, it was 49ers and the Seahawks. I know we didn't get to see much of it, but just it went pretty much how we expected it to go. 49ers just absolute mollywop the Seahawks, and Christian McCaffrey had him a game. Brock Purdy played well. And so for the San Francisco 49ers, what do you think their potential is moving forward in terms of where you can see them down the road in the season?
I can see them in the Super Bowl. They just lost their star safety, so that's gonna probably hurt them a little bit. I feel like they still got all the weapons to still make to Super Bowl regardless.
And then yeah, that's right, because we had talked about the offensive weapons. You got Kittle, you got Christian McCaffrey, you got Ayuk, you got Debo. I mean, you got just absolute monsters on that team. And then defensively, they're also just a great defensive team. Obviously, you said that injury with their safety is gonna, they're gonna have to work through that. But yeah, man, Super Bowl is tough. But I think, it's pretty much, I think in the NFC, I think it's pretty much between the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think those are your three. And then in the AFC, it's Chiefs, Miami, and Ravens. I think are your three. And then, you got your dark horse, the Lions, maybe, Browns. Yeah, Browns #1 defense in the NFL. So there's a team, even though they don't have Deshaun Watson for the rest of the season because of the shoulder surgery, but still #1 defense. They got a shot with that defense.
This is DTR. I think he's a good backup quarterback.
Oh yeah.
UCLA.
So I mean, they got a shot. I'm trying to think of some other teams maybe, but those teams off the top of my head. But yeah, that's pretty much going over those. And so when this video gets posted, these games will probably have happened already because I'm not going to be able to post this until probably Saturday or Sunday. So most of the games will have already happened or will be happening when this goes up. But do what we got to do. But moving forward, and I'm not able to talk about next week whose plays. No, that is this week. Yeah, the time is off. But when this video drops, most of these games will have happened. But again, timing's off just because of Thanksgiving. But is there anything else that you want to throw out there into the NFL verse? Maybe some teams or players to look out for or whatever?
Lamar Jackson's winning MVP.
Y'all heard it here. Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson does win this MVP, I'm going to take this video, I'm going to clip it, I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to send it to you so you can brag with all your friends because it is November 23rd. November 23rd, 2023 at 10:40 p.m. Y'all heard it here. Trey predicts Lamar Jackson wins MVP. This has been another episode of the NFL Coverage. We'll catch you guys next week.
I'm dead.